Hi everyone, this is Miss Eyre and I'm coming to you today from the classroom to record a book that we're going to focus on finding theme with. This is one of my favorite books from when I was a kid and it's called The Paper Bag Princess, written by Robert Munsch. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle and had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle, burned all her clothes with his fiery breath, and carried off Prince Ronald. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find that was not burnt was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. She took hold of the knocker and banged on the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess! I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed the knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "Is it true," said Elizabeth, "that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon. And he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. "Fantastic," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 100 forests. "Magnificent," said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, "Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds?" "Why, yes," said the dragon, and jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, "Fantastic! Do it again." So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, "Hey, dragon." The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, "Hey, dragon!" The dragon was so tired he didn't even move. Elizabeth walked right over to the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. He looked at her and said, "Elizabeth, you are a mess. You smell like ashes, your hair is all tangled, and you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess." "Ronald," said Elizabeth, "your clothes are really pretty and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince, but you are a bum." They didn't get married after all. Okay, now on to the theme finding activity post the reading of The Paper Bag Princess by Robert Munsch. I do hope you enjoyed that book. It's definitely one of my favorites. So the first step in finding our theme is to choose 3 topics. And when I do this for you, I will give you a piece of paper that gives you a list of topics. The second step is to write what the author thinks about each topic. The third step is to combine those 3 sentences into one. And the fourth step is to remove any author or character names in the equation. And this process was taught to me by Mr. Rutt, who just retired as a teacher this year, but was a fantastic English teacher and a great mentor for me and a friend. So I hope that it helps you as well. Number 1, choose 3 topics. So the topics that I chose today are love, bravery, and independence. The second thing I need to do is I need to write what the author thinks about each topic. So the first one is love. Robert Munsch believes that love is not unconditional. And we'll explain that in a bit. The second one is Robert Munsch believes that bravery is important. The third one, independence, that Robert Munsch believes that everyone should be independent. Okay, and that definitely includes girls. The next step, number 3, is to combine the 3 sentences into one. So Robert Munsch believes that love isn't unconditional, that bravery is important, and that everyone should be independent. Okay? Now, this is a long sentence. So when I personally do this activity, I tend to pick my most, the one that I think is most important, and I focus in on that for number 4, because this is a really big theme. We don't want themes to be one word because that would be a topic. So themes need to at least be a phrase, but I prefer a sentence myself. So when I'm doing this next sentence, I'm going to think about what the most important thing is here. And I would say I can almost combine 1 and 3 in a way. So Robert Munsch believes that women, I'm going to make that more specific. I'm going to actually, no, I'll leave it general. Everyone should be independent and know their boundaries. Okay. And what I mean by this, and I could even go on to explain it if I wanted to, but what I mean by this is that if someone is not treating you right, you should not stay with that person. And that's what this book is about, is ultimately Prince Elizabeth went on a limb to save her prince, Prince Ronald. She didn't care what she wore. She wore a paper bag to go and rescue him. And as soon as she found him, what did he say? Elizabeth, you're a mess. There was no thank you. There was no kindness or consideration. So obviously, she should not marry Prince Ronald, and therefore she didn't in the book. But that's what the author is trying to convey. And that's what a theme is. A theme is, what's the author trying to teach us about life? Okay, and why is that important to all of us? Is this something that we can all apply to our own lives? Yes, because you will eventually probably want to date someone. And when you do, if that person does not treat you well, you should not be with that person. Okay, so these are the steps to finding theme. We're going to go through this in class as well, but I wanted to make sure I had a resource for you if you didn't understand it fully that you could go back to. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.